Hello everyone, we are here with Dan Lemieux and Darryl Martin, two of our incident commanders with Grande Prairie Regional Emergency Partnership. Can you tell us, Darryl, about GPREP itself?
Sure. GPREP is an organization that is a partnership between all the municipalities, basically within the confines of the county borders, shall we say. So Beaver Lodge, Sexsmith, Wembley, the city and the county are all part of that partnership. And we pool our resources when it comes to events like this. We do a lot of training ahead of time and planning and all that type of stuff, but it's a community-based approach to managing these events that happen, because none of these events really impact one community ever at a time. So it's a partnership in that respect.
And this was a massive test of the GPREP system. We've been practicing for this. Can you just give the public a sense of what went on behind the scenes? We had boots on the ground, but there were a lot of people supporting them.
The GPREP, when we activated the response to support the firefighters, so we had firefighters and first responders fighting the fire, a very important work to do, but they can't do it on their own and they need some support. So this tool that we use here, using some international approved or developed processes, we set up so we can handle the logistics to support them, getting them the resources they need, additional firefighters from different locations, other specialties, those types of things, the food, the diesel, whatever is required, and as well as tracking it and doing planning ahead of time, and looking also at the rest of the response within the county and the other communities, because although we're fighting this large fire, there's things still happening within the community, and those types of things, those folks at the fire ground are not in a position to manage. So what we do is we take care of kind of the rest of the world while they're focused on their task.
And there was massive support from across the province and nationally. Even on our information side, we had Rocky View County, Jasper came to assist us and provide some relief. Can you give us a sense of where everyone was coming from?
That's a hard question to answer. I think we had a lot of help from all over the place. Other communities that have received assistance from us in the past reciprocated, and other groups that had a capacity and understood our challenges came. So we had a lot of folks from southern Alberta, central Alberta, those types of locations, and everybody up here was a little busy. We understand that. So in that respect, we were able to bring in those partners as well. We had resources from forestry made available to us, and also the federal government did make available a series of soldiers, a set of soldiers for us. So.
And Dan, Darryl was speaking to a lot of the operations that we had supporting the boots on the ground, but there was also the other side with the reception centers that needed to be set up, the call centers, all those aspects. Can you tell us a little bit more about what went into that and all the people behind that were helping and supporting?
Absolutely. So when people see an operation like this, they often think of the boots on the ground and the fire, putting the fire out, and that's very important. But there's also another aspect, and that is that when there's an evacuation like this, I think 1,800 people were evacuated. So we had to have systems in place to look after those people, to lodge them, to feed them, to provide all other services that they have, medication, you name it. It gets very complex, and this is probably one of the largest activations that we've had with GPREP, involving quite a few members of our community. So there are so many systems that come into play. This becomes a very complex organization. So we had to set up a reception center. We had to register people so we could keep track of who's where, and then we had to look after their needs. We had to lodge them, we had to feed them, and if there's any other medical services that were required, those are all things that people often don't think about, that we have to think about and we have to plan for.
So we know in our world of instant notification on all of the social media platforms, it's just a 24/7 news information now. We did hear from some residents that they felt they weren't getting information fast enough in the way that they wanted. Can you just speak to that a little bit?
Certainly, Leslie. Thanks for the question. So, yeah, communication is always a big component of a response like this. So we actually have a communications section that helps us with communication. And you're correct. In this day and age of social media, the information gets out there very quickly and people have a lot of questions. So early on in an event like this, our focus obviously is on dealing with the emergency and dealing with the people. We pay attention to communication all along the way, and we got some feedback early on in this event that people want to see more pictures, more videos. That was really good feedback, and certainly I think that our communication professionals have done a really good job. People have to understand that early on in the incident, when we're ramping everything up, it's difficult to get all of these pieces as effective as we could, as early as we could. But certainly communication's a very important part, and we take it very seriously. And we thank all of the communication professionals that have helped us. And we thank the community for their patience and for the feedback that we've received. And I think at the end of the day, communication improved tremendously as we moved along in this particular incident.
And thanks so much to both of you for everything that you have done for us, for the community, and to all of you as well. Thanks so much for your support. And as always, on the County of Grande Prairie website is your re-entry package as you do go back home. And we will have the call center open this weekend from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.